Most games nowadays suffer from two major complaints. The first one being that they're too short, and the second that they offer too much or too many tutorials and too much hand holding to the point where when the game finally kicks off, the players are already burnt out and are feeling bored. Sometimes it's even a little bit of both. Too rarely do we see a game now where players are offered immense freedom in how they play the game, with nary consequence for taking as much time as they want to progress through the story. What's up, Dreamer Tribe? What's up, world? I am Bianca, this is my channel, and I am here to give you my own review on the game Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles. In Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles, players are given vast amounts of freedom to do whatever they want and finish the game, even progress the story at their own pace without burying them in mountains of text for tutorials. If anything, Yonder, the Catcher Chronicles, this title is really a mouthful, drops you into the game without giving you anything to go on, not even a hint of what you're supposed to do. So the game starts out with you creating your own character, choosing from a not so impressive lineup of presets. The game doesn't ask you to name your character, however, before dropping you smack dab in the middle of a ship heading for a forgotten kingdom called Gemea. So right off the bat, the game doesn't tell you what you need to do to progress. Though at this point your options are pretty limited, but it is easy to figure out what needs to be done. Not long after that, your ship gets hit by lightning, destroyed, and you are thrown overboard. You then wake up in a dreamlike place and meet with Eri, a spirit who tells you of the darkness that plagues the land of Gemea, and tasks you with finding her children and cleansing the world of this evil miasma known as the Murk. It is at this point that the game opens up to you its vast and almost limitless gameplay as you are tasked to journey around Gemea to do as Eri had asked. Though the graphics and artwork of the in-game characters are nothing to write home about, they do look cute. Even the animals that you find roaming in this game, and there are plenty and of different varieties, match the cutesy look of everything else in the game. Comparably, Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles looks similar to the Final Fantasy XV Pocket Edition. Having said that, however, the world of this game looks beautiful and lush, verdant in places where it should be, like the grasslands at the beginning of the game, and desolate in areas such as the frozen wastelands or those places thoroughly hit by the Murk. The game also offers an in-game clock and a calendar that counts the days and years that has elapsed since you first began your journey, that is based on the in-game day and night cycle rather than on the actual real-world time. Though the calendar is nothing more than an aesthetic to gauge how long you have been playing the game, the day and night cycle is much more different and offers an expansion who do not enjoy exploring blindly and who are used to a game directing them where to go next and what to do. The people, as well as the fauna you encounter in this game, varies on the time of day that you are having your adventure in. When during daylight you may encounter these buffalo-like creatures, during the night it would be the fox's turn to frolic. Corner. How the game handles shifting from day to nighttime is also beautifully rendered, as you can actually see the sky turning from its bright yellow and blue hue to the pinking tones of sunset. Similarly, nighttime to daytime also gives that wonderful and beautiful change of color. Thankfully, with how vast the world is and how many activities you can do in this game, there isn't a need for your character to sleep or any consequence for doing so. There isn't even an option to sleep in this game, funny enough, apart from those that the story forces you in. Speaking of activities, this game offers a lot of them. Some in the form of side quests you can pick up from NPCs and quest boards, others from what the game offers you regardless. You can fish, mine, sow seeds and plant trees, chop wood, harvest, herd and befriend animals, craft, and even trade with traders, complete with fluctuating prices that differs from region to region. And that doesn't even count the main quest of the story, which also offers you a variety of activities to complete. You can also customize your characters with hair dyes obtained as quest rewards or from chests lying around, as well as craft accessories and clothes for your avatar to mix and match your own brand of style. Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles, also offers you a farm that you can set your sights into getting to thrive and an option to befriend villagers in a specific area or town so that you can ask them to give you a hand in your farm. It also allows the players to customize how their farms are set up so no two farms could look identical. Even what animals you want to house in your barns are of your choosing. Interestingly, how you obtain said farm animals is not similar to how games of the same genre typically do so. In Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles, obtaining animals require you to not only befriend them by feeding them the food that they like, but also luring them back to your farm, which can be a little bit challenging depending on where you found the animal of your choosing grazing about and how far away you are from your farm. Each area or town even has their own star rating that tells you how many and how much of the activities in that particular area you have completed, as well as the standing of your farm, including how friendly you are with your farm animals, as well as the cleanliness of your farm. Similarly, there are so many secrets and lore in this game that you can uncover, which is something I will not spoil for the benefit of those who will, as they are watching this video, find interest in this game. But it is enough to keep one's curiosity piqued and for one's mind to conjure up explanations and theories to satiate one's mind up until the point when the game finally reveals the answers to the questions plaguing the player's mind. Returning to the point where I have mentioned the lack of hand-holding, it is reminiscent to older games where you are free to explore to your heart's content. Even when you have unlocked the use of the magical compass and direct yourself into a fetch quest, the compass doesn't provide you with the location of where the items you're supposed to be fetching could be found. It only tells you where the quest giver is located so that in the event you have obtained the items or completed whatever quest they have offered, you will not have a hard time returning to them to claim your reward. Now, this may be a deal breaker to some, but for a game that is centered around exploration, it is a really fundamental feature and one that truly makes you feel like you are discovering the unknown in a land that is foreign to you. It also provides the player a myriad of ways that they could go about their adventure. Now let us turn our sights, or our ears for this matter, on Yonder the Cloud Catcher Chronicles music. Though each area has a different music and the ambience of the game changes depending on the time of day, the weather, even the season, the soundtrack of this game leaves a lot to be desired, as it can sometimes sound a little bland and boring to the point where the player can sometimes forget there is even a music to begin with. Even the sound effects can be jarring at times. Unlike some games, however, the soundtrack is bearable and is even the bottom of my short list of qualms for this game. There is one thing I like about the game's soundtrack though, and that is the hauntingly beautiful song that plays at the title menu of the game that stretches along to the character creation scene.
The shining hope within this storm, path of light, tell me where you are leading me to my friends, sights wondrous and strange, so much of it is meant to change.
The vastness of the game world, and it truly is vast, can also dissuade some players who do not enjoy exploring blindly and who are used to a game directing them where to go next and what to do. It is also impossible not to get lost as you explore, which is part of the enjoyment and the charm of the Yonder the Cloud Catcher Chronicles game, where you are left guessing as to what is just around the corner. My biggest qualms for the game has to do with the visual effects, namely the flashing and overall bright lights that can appear when the weather turns sour as part of lightning effects or whenever the player gets whisked away via a magic portal. Sometimes the entire game seems to be even too bright for my liking. Now, these lights are pretty blinding, especially if you are playing it in poor lighting conditions, like if you are traveling in a car or when you're playing on your bed before going to sleep. The flashing lights can be dangerous as well to those who are epileptic and can cause seizures, which is something the game doesn't warn you about at the start. It honestly hurt my eyes when I first came across these visuals at the very beginning of the game, and I had to look away in order for me to not get a headache from it. So if you have a history of seizures and epilepsy, consider this a warning for this game. Apart from those things, Yonder the Cloud Catcher Chronicles is a wonderful exploration game. Though the level of fun and entertainment it gives is dependent on how much you enjoy these types of games, this game also offers longevity in playthrough and is verging on impossible to complete in its entirety in just a short amount of time with how many things there are to do in this game, places to discover, and secrets to uncover. Overall, it is a leisurely and casual game to play and a game that can get you addicted and make you forget just how long you have played the game as you are so immersed in the lost and forgotten lands of Gemea. It is a game you can play at your own pace in however way you want. Personally, I have already clocked several hours into this game, but I have yet to actually make a dent in its story. Apart from the couple of lore and myth pieces I have picked up as I was exploring the different areas I have unlocked thus far. So how this game ends or what kind of post-game content it has, if it has any, is something I cannot comment on at this time. And so with how many hours of playthrough I have under my belt and the satisfaction I have from playing Yonder the Cloud Catcher Chronicles, I am giving it a 7 out of 10. It is admittedly a niche game, but it is an adequate one able to deliver what it promises itself to be. A game of adventure and exploration in a vast open world where each player's journey is unique in its own way, with a lush world filled with interesting animals and an even more interesting story built underneath a lore that players can choose to uncover. To those who enjoy the likes of Don't Starve and The Flood and the Flame, this game is something I am highly recommending. So there you guys have it, my review for Yonder the Cloud Catcher Chronicles. It's really difficult to pronounce that title. I hope that this review proves helpful to those who are wondering what this game is about, and for those who are thinking of buying this game or trying to think of a game to play. And so we come to the end of the video. Now, if you found this video helpful and informative, do leave a thumbs up or a like. Comment also below if you have played this game. What do you like about it? I'm curious. I want to know how many people are playing this game, how many people are enjoying this game. If you are enjoying this game, also comment below or leave a thumbs up. If you dislike this video for whatever reason, feel free to leave a comment as well and provide some sort of constructive criticism as to how we can improve our quality, our video quality, and our reviews. Now again, this review is of my own personal thoughts regarding the game. I bought this game with my own money and I've played it as much as I can with the time I allowed myself to play it, since again I have a day job so I have to balance out my time so that I can do these videos at the same time, play those games, play other games, research, and stuff like that. Well, anyway, that's all the time we have for today. To our new subscribers, our Dreamer Tribe members, thank you all for subscribing to my channel. You guys are awesome. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Please support my channel, share this video if you can. If you want to be part of our notification squad, click on the bell icon below. So that's it for today. Until the next video, you guys know the drill. Dream on, fly on.